Setter, 6'2" junior from Houston, Texas. Number 15, Marlana Bird. And at libero, 5'5" freshman from Honolulu. Number 16, Kaylee Ikenaga. The Hawaii staff assistant coaches, Kaleo Baxter and Nick Castello. Head coach for your Rainbow Wahine, Robin Amo.
It was well worth the 623-day wait as Hawaii swept its way to a season-opening victory over Fairfield, highlighted by career performances by Brooke Van Sickle and Riley Wagner. Earlier on Friday, Marquette outlasted Texas A&M in a 5-set thriller as the Golden Eagles' Taylor Wolf howled to the tune of 15 kills, 24 assists, and 8 blocks. On day 2 of the Rainbow Wahine Classic, it's the Big East versus the Big West, the Golden Eagles of Marquette and the Hawaii Rainbow Wahine. And with that, we welcome you inside Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. Kanoa Leahy alongside Lisa Strand. Lisa, take us through the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match.
And for tonight, for Marquette, they need to serve bombs away from the service line. They had 9 service aces, and if they can get the Rainbow Wahine out of system, it might help them set up their big block. And for University of Hawaii, for the Rainbow Wahine, they need to work around the big block of the Golden Eagles.
That's right, Marquette with 15 total team blocks in that 5-set victory over Texas A&M on the opening night of the Hawaiian Airlines Rainbow Wahine Classic last night. You mentioned the 9 aces. It will be Hawaii serving first here to start this match. And we are underway. Marlana Bird, the starting setter for the second straight night, comes up with the first save on this sequence. High bump set goes to Brooke Van Sickle, goes off the block and down, and Hawaii strikes first. Credit the assist on the bump set to the freshman libero, Taylor Ikenaga. Hawaiian Financial FCU starting lineup scrolling at the bottom of your screen. If you were with us last night, you will know this is the same starting rotation that we saw a night ago.
That's exactly what Coach Robin Amo is wanting to do, stay and be consistent.
Good disruption by Sky Williams in the middle, and then the swing by Martina Leoniak. The freshman winds up a Hawaii point. It was an initial save by the Marquette libero, Katie Shesso, but unable to forge a return were the Golden Eagles, and it is 2-0 quickly for the Rainbow Wahine.
It makes you wonder if the Golden Eagles are a little bit nervous about tonight's match. Last night they went 5, going 2 hours and 18 minutes.
And nothing nervous on that swing by Taylor Wolf. She is a grad student, 6'2", started her collegiate career at Green Bay, is a preseason All-Big East selection, and she went beast mode last night against Texas A&M. She was 2 blocks and 2 digs away from what would have been a quadruple double. It's Brooke Van Sickle down the line and in. Brooke Van Sickle went career last night. 16 kills, that is the best in her tenure with the Rainbow Wahine. She hit .433 to go along with 11 digs, so score her a double-double as well, Lisa.
She's definitely all dialed in. She had a great beach season as well, and you know, she is the floor captain. She's one of the super-duper seniors on the team.
Another good swing there on that opposite position by Taylor Wolf, who will split time as an opposite hitter, and when she rotates into the back row, she turns into a setter. Pretty well-rounded. I think shade certainly of what we got familiar with for some time when Noreen Yosia was doing her thing in Mano.
Definitely, that's exactly it. Great analogy there, because she is that 6th rotation player, and she sets well, but she also attacks very aggressive.
Serves it long, so a freebie there for Hawaii. Rainbow Wahine with that 3-set sweep victory over Fairfield last night. Earlier this evening, Texas A&M took down the Stags in 3 as well. Hawaii will wrap things up in this tournament with the Aggies tomorrow evening. serve by Ikenaga deep into the corner. So a high ball set goes to Hope Wirch, and she's able to get it past that big block of Amber Igidi and Martina Leoniak. Hope Wirch is a good one. She is approaching 1,000 career kills. In fact, entered this match 40 shy of that mark. She'll be the 13th Marquette Golden Eagle to achieve that feat. Well, she's been doing it for some time here for this program. Good pass there by Riley Wagner. Middle set to Igidi, a little low, so she couldn't really do her normal thing. The swing from the outside by Hannah Vandenberg goes off the fingers of the block and out. So a point there, credit the 6'2" redshirt sophomore from Little Chute, Wisconsin.
And when you say redshirt, that's interesting because the coaching staff confirmed that their redshirt players, they name them redshirt players due to COVID. All of their players have a redshirt in front of them.
Leoniak had a good look at that one. The return goes above the net. Little pitter-patter back and forth. Hawaii now with it. Leoniak again tried to shove it through the block, and she does. A nifty play there by the Frosch from Poland.
And Leoniak just celebrated her 18th birthday. She's come in and she's so calm and steady. You don't see a lot of emotion out of her, but when you do, she's, according to Coach Robin, she communicates a lot with the staff.
It took a little while to get revved up last night. He was buffering a little bit for some time offensively, but then we started seeing some of that potential. And there is a lot of talent and potential in the middle of the net here offensively for Marquette. That's Savannah Rennie, another preseason All Big East selection. Had 12 kills, hit .381 to go along with a half dozen blocks last night against Texas A&M.
Yeah, she's very explosive in the middle. Look to Marquette to set her a lot tonight.
The slide, meanwhile, to Igidi. Igidi last night, 8 kills, hit .583, 4 blocks, 2 of those solo, and of course she was a blocking machine back in 2019, the last season for this Rainbow Wahine squad.
Yeah, she really has upped her game. Again, she played beach volleyball this past season and partnered with Brooke Van Sickle.
Hawaii up 1, and a lefty swing there. Scores one for Marquette. That was Ellie Kuntz, 6'1" junior from Minneapolis, Minnesota, had 6 kills against Texas A&M. It's her 4th season with this Golden Eagles program. Marquette did play in the spring. They went 10-4, 4-2 in the Big East Conference. Lost in the Big East Tournament Final to Creighton. The tip shot there by Van Sickle. Good layout save to keep it going by Vandenberg. Back row settles to Wagner. And another good up in that back row, that time by Wirch. Free chance once more here for Hawaii. Can they cash it in? Van Sickle off the block, rattled around, and finally drops to the floor.
And I think we're going to have many more of those types of rallies. Marquette's defense, very disciplined, touching a lot of balls, and Hawaii doing a nice job distributing the ball. Back court, front court slides. Nice job by Milana Bird so far.
Yeah, that was one of the big storylines going into last night, right? One of the big mysteries. What was going to be the strategy, the plan at the setter position as Amber Igidi tickles the tape and drops it down? If she can just perfect that, she'll rack up aces this season.
She's going to take out a patent on that baby. But I tell you what, they're going to go after the seams and after number 8, Hope Wirch.
Two-handed pass that time by Vandenberg, and then Wolf in the middle of the net, able to get it down.
And again, showing her versatility. She's a setter and an outside hitter, but they run that play last night numerous times, and she was successful. Every single time she came into the middle and attacked, she got a kill.
She averaged a team best 2.8 kills per set during the spring.
In the post-game interview, she just said she loved how her team stayed together. It went 5, and it could have went either way. She said, we showed a lot of character.
And Bird outside, Van Sickle with a laser beam from the outside. And she's off to a start that is very similar to the way she played throughout the match last night.
Yeah, seeing the court very well, getting a good approach to the ball. And again, the set just far enough off of the net so she can work around the big block of Marquette.
And she's showing some bounce here to start this season. That overpass fielded by Williams, the quick middle back to Williams, and then they go ping pong back and forth. Now on the outside, it's Wirch, able to blast it by Leoniak and down. So Marquette within a point here in what has been a pretty active and kinetic opening frame thus far.
And I think that's exactly what both teams expected. They've done their scouting. It's pretty obvious. They went back after last night's matches, and actually in Milwaukee, it's basically midnight there. And coach was saying it might be a little bit hard for our players tonight. They're playing at midnight.
Leoniak got a piece of that block. So here's work from the outside. Goes hard angle, wrist away, and goes a little too far wide.
Trying to work away from the big block, and it is a big block. Sky Williams up there with Leo, I guess, right now.
So here's Van Sickle to serve. Van Sickle, Big West Conference honorable mention back in 2019. High ball set goes outside. This is Rennie, took something off, pulled the string. That was a veteran move right there. Started her collegiate career at Cal. Was actually a member of the team for 5 years, played 3 seasons. So when we talk about super duper seniors, Savannah Rennie is one of them.
Well, she's got quite a story too behind her. It's just pretty amazing. In 2015, I believe it was, she sat out this season, her freshman year, because she was diagnosed with congenital hepatic fibrosis, and she ended up having a liver transplant. And so just an amazing story, and she's just such a hard worker. You can see the character in her as she drives so hard on the court all the time.
Yeah, it is great to see her back in action. Nobody happier than she is, that's for sure. An ace once again for Taylor Wolf. Hawaii trying to get the side back. Wagner is blocked. A joust above the net. Played off the net by Williams, but Wagner couldn't slap it over, and all of a sudden Marquette has scored 3 straight, and they jump in front.
And again, Marquette serving behind Taylor from that back line. She's got a jump serve. It's not super aggressive, but it definitely puts a little bit more pressure on the serve receivers for the Wahine.
And Sickle puts that one tight to the net. One hand set outside to Wagner. She's blocked. Here's Leoniak. No blockers were up against her, but a good dig there by Wolf. What can't she do? The dig shot there by Wirtz, sniffed out by Bird. Back bump set goes to Wagner, hard angle wide, and Hawaii right now stuck in this rotation.
A couple of unforced errors, incredibly frustrating for Coach Robin, I'm sure. So she's up talking to her players, giving them signals. And it's difficult with the math too. Everything becomes muffled. You don't truly hear the words that are being expressed.
So 12 serving 10 as Marquette has been able to split the score here, scoring 4 straight. Bump set by Wolf. Here's Wirtz, blocked. She's able to put it up herself. And then the dig in the back row by Van Sickle on the swing by Kuntz. Wagner again smothered by that block against the pin. Leoniak couldn't put it down. Wolf goes middle, dug up nicely by Ikenaga. Wagner again. Oh, that was some heavy heat, but a great up by Wirtz, and we play on in the sequence. High bump set, Wagner off the fingertips of the block and down, and Hawaii wins a marathon rally.
Well, I think they're having just a little bit of fun right about now. Both teams, great rally.
Yeah, that was some high-level volleyball being exchanged from one side of the net to the other. It's good to have volleyball back.
It sure is. And can you imagine if there were fans in the stands right now? We wouldn't be able to hear each other.
Exactly. Good slide maneuver there for the point for Marquette. That was Savannah Rennie going off of 1 foot. Rennie, an all Big East selection. In fact, was an ABCA all-region selection during the spring. Team high 51 blocks.
You just gotta love her concentration and her focus at the net. She is all dialed in.
Leoniak, that was a good set, but a great up in the back row there by Wirtz. We're gonna have a violation, double hit called against Marquette, and so Hawaii gets the freebie.
You don't see a lot of double contacts called at this level. It is not very common. You see 1 or 2. But we're seeing something interesting here with this substitution, Kanoa.
Yeah, so we have Kate Lang, freshman setter, who has been competing with Mylana Bird here in the run-up to the season, coming in to serve. We also have Tiffany Westerberg, who did not see action until the 3rd set last night. She's in there here in set number 1 in the front row. And the block is up. Amber Igidi shutting the door right next to Westerberg.
And they read that like a book. Kate Lang coming in, doing her assigned service. They're giving her, Nick Costello's telling her where to serve, and she's going after that short right front location.
Rennie getting root. And they go right to that opposite pin. And again, the southpaw swing of Ellie Kuntz paying dividends here early on. So a competitive opening frame as anticipated.
By both coaches, definitely.
Oh, and that's an ace. Van Sickle led it by, thought it was an out ball. Instead, Ian Tice in his 8th season is the 5th head coach in Marquette history, and boy has he done well. Coming into the season, a .731 career winning percentage that ranks top 15 among active coaches. He has over 300 career wins. Prior to Marquette, spent 6 seasons at Ohio University, but while atop this Golden Eagles program, they've gone to the NCAA tournament 6 of his previous 7 years. And again, the only time they didn't make it was in that spring season earlier this calendar year. And I think we can give him a pass on that one because that was under some pretty extraordinary circumstances.
Yeah, 10-week season basically is what he said, and then they lost to Creighton in their conference title match.
Under Igidi logging the kill. She now has a pair of put downs. Hawaii trailing by 1 here. And the block got a good piece on that swing by Hannah Vandenberg, but it goes off the hands and out for a Marquette point. Marquette out of that timeout hitting 429, Hawaii 269. You also have the 2 service aces for the Golden Eagles compared to 1 for the Rainbow Wahine.
And that this team does really well is serve.
Mosier, the other setter with the serve. Here's Van Sickle up the ladder, and down the chute it goes.
There may as well not have even been a block up on that attack.
I mean, she is springy here at the start of this season. She has battled through some injury at times in her career, but she looks about as fresh-legged as we have seen her in her time in Manoa.
She really does. I think she's put in some extra time in the weight room as well.
Kyra Hanawahine in to serve. Defensive specialist and serving specialist for Hawaii. The slide to Carson Murray. Great job by the Rainbow Wahine just to keep it alive. They go outside. This time it's Vandenberg. She misses the court wide. No touch up front. And we are even Steven here at 16 apiece.
And making that play was Tiffany Westerberg. She came off the net and had an overhand dig. It almost looked like a lift, but it wasn't. And then she set the block up really nicely, which is what she's in for, blocking purposes.
Out of system. Golden Eagles go outside to Vandenberg. Tried to time that jump from off the net. Hits it into the twine. So a point for Hawaii, and they vault ahead.
And Kyra Hanawahine doing a nice job from the service line. Very consistent. There you see her numbers.
She was a strong contributor in 2019, and a great serve here, just returning the ball that time. Marquette, but Westerberg sends it right back over the net. Hawaii scrambling. Van Sickle is roofed. Oh, Marquette was at a great disadvantage on that rally, but Carson Murray coming up with the stuff to save the day, and we're tied at 17.
Carson Murray, only a freshman, a redshirt freshman at 6'4", does present a huge block. She got hot last night, and boy, she turned things around for her team.
So here is Carly Scrawbeck, a sophomore with the serve. One hand set from Kate Lang to Williams, couldn't put it down. Two-hand pass, free ball here for Hawaii. Westerberg handled it, and Van Sickle tried to soft touch it past Murray, and Murray said,
There's a little bit of communication breakdown between Westerberg and Kate on that last play. And I like that they're talking about it. They're like, hey, I'll call that off. You take it, I'll take it kind of thing.
Two-hand pass here, Van Sickle. Quick middle to Williams, and that one was just too low for her to be able to do anything with it. And so a few, you can say, unforced two of the Hawaiian Airlines Rainbow Wahine Classic. Kanoa Leahy along with Lisa Strand. And we miss all of you out there watching. We're glad you could still join us via the television airwaves, but Certainly wish you were in this building with us as the slide goes to Tiffany Westerberg, and she's able to put a hurting on that. Westerberg, who really sort of revamped herself over the course of that off season. She leveled up a couple of degrees, and it has shown in the practice gym, and you can see some of the fruits of her labor on that last sequence.
Definitely, and Coach Robin Amo wanted to give her an opportunity. She said she came back a completely different player and person.
Lana Bird with the serve, it's a good one. Outside set goes to Wirtz, tried to go line, misses wide, and we are tied at 19. So a couple of quickies out of the timeout for Hawaii. And we got ourselves a very competitive first frame here as we turn the final pole.
You gotta love the competition. Both teams wanting so badly to compete.
Oh, and that one just missing the end line. Bird serving long. So Marquette gets to 20 first. This is the point in the set where the degrees of pressure start to uptick. Good pass there, Van Sickle outside set. Leoniak is blocked and roofed. That's Taylor Wolf next to Savannah Rennie. And that Marquette block, as advertised, formidable.
And the two strongest players, in my personal opinion, on that team. Putting up that stop of the block.
It's now 4 total team blocks for Marquette and an overpass on the serve. Advantage Golden Eagles. Wolf pumps it long. A rare hitting error of the unforced variety for Taylor Wolf.
Got a little bit underneath that ball. She is strong, man. She got some power behind it, but she just got underneath that ball.
And the way she fills a stat sheet, it is remarkable. She already has 3 kills, 6 assists, a service ace, 4 digs, and 4 blocks.
Straight across. A 6 rotation player.
Well, score an ace out of the deck for Brooke Van Sickle. And we're tied at 21, and we have a timeout signaled by the Golden Eagles.
And it's really interesting, again, look for the Wahine to go after Pope Wrench Wirtz. She actually struggled a little bit last night late in the game with her passing, and I think Hawaii picked up on that while they were doing their scouting reports.
Of competitive sets that help to calibrate you for when things count the most in conference play. Great serve by Van Sickle, it's an ace! Another ace!
The jump float going from corner to corner.
And Hawaii in front, 22-21. Well, that serving chess match that Ryan alluded to. Another check that time by Brooke. Changes it up a little bit there. Right side, it's Wolf, blocked back, pinballed around, and it's going to be a free ball coming for Hawaii. Wagner the first touch. Bird goes middle to Williams, but she whiffs at it. The set a little mistimed, and another gift of a point to Marquette when Hawaii had the distinct advantage.
Distinct advantage is right, and I think Coach Robin not happy with that set selection. A little too risky at that point in this match.
22 all, and a very dangerous server behind the line for the Golden Eagles, Taylor Wolf. Hawaii out of system, Bird has to chase it down. Bump set to Wagner, great swing, good up that time, to the net, and it is hammered home. Sky Williams.
She's got that famous smile coming off the court. She definitely lights up a room, let me tell you. But while she was on her way out, Amber Ajiti was on her way in, and boy, she is wanting to be in that front court so badly right now.
Well, Riley Wagner smoked that one from the outside. Great save by Shesso. But right to Sky Williams, Hawaii up 1. Ike Naga, pressure serve, down the line it goes. Pass tight to the net. High ball set, it's Wirtz through the block and down. Again, getting it by one of the toughest blocks that Hawaii has to offer in Ajiti and Leoniak.
Yeah, Wirtz doing a really nice job. Again, they're serving right at her. She's having to pass and then get outside, but she sees that she can use the hands, the outside hands, and does it nicely.
And now the veteran Wirtz, graduate student with the serve, goes right at Wagner. Bird, backside set to Leoniak, off the mark, and a free chance here for Marquette. Off the block, good save there by Ikenaga. Leoniak, the touch. High ball, it goes to Vandenberg off the block, saved by Ajiti. Bump set, Leoniak off of the flat-footed approach, rolls it down. And it is aloha ball for the Rainbow Wahine in the first. And so into the match, the same substitution we saw earlier in the set. You have Kate Lang, the freshman, in to serve. Tiffany Westerberg into the front row. And a chance for the Rainbow Wahine to strike first in this match. Soft serve there by Lang. Backside, it's Kuntz, blocked back. Wolf clears the way, gets it to Vandenberg. How about the diving save, Van Sickle, but a net violation called against Hawaii, and we are knotted at 24. It is deuces here in the first.
You gotta love the scramble on both sides right now. Both sides playing to win.
Savannah Rennie to serve. Had 2 aces last night against Texas A&M. GK Naga had a hard time handling that one. The bump set to Wagner. Sends it long. Was there a touch? No touch. Point Marquette. It is aloha ball for the Golden Eagles, and that prompts. And Rennie, I mentioned everything that she has had to endure in her career with the serve. A line drive serve handled by Ikenaga. Outside Westerberg, the deep dink snipped out easily there by Wirch. Outside Vandenberg, blocked back. Good save again by Wirch. The dump shot punched up there by Igidi and sent over free ball style. That is Kuntz. That goes off the block and out. And a point for Marquette. And they close the deal here in the first. The Golden Eagles being pushed to the limit. Hawaii failing to close it out. Marquette obliges. Time now for the Hawaii Honda Dealers highlight reel, and to the victors go the spoils. So we're focusing on what Marquette was able to accomplish behind Taylor Wolf in that opening frame. Wolf, 3 kills to go along with 9 assists, 4 digs, and 4 blocks. Speaking of blocks, as a squad, Marquette with 4 total. There were 8 block assists among them. And they came up big in some key spots, Lisa.
They really did. They're putting a lot of pressure on Hawaii's hitting and offense. Hawaii hitting at 175 for that set number 1.
You want to know how competitive that opening frame was? There were 12 ties, 5 lead changes. No team led by more than 2 points. The longest run was a 4-point run by Marquette.
That's pretty tight. I think we're going to have to sit tight right now because we're in for a little bit of a barn burner / battle.
There is that chance, and for Robin Amo and this Hawaii team, they had opportunities. They were serving for the set and unable to close it out. Had a few mistimed miscues down the stretch as well.
Yeah. And those are the things that with time will get worked out. It's still so early, the communication, and that's exactly why she gave her team a B. Was it a plus last night?
I think she was able to convince herself to push it up to a B plus as she was evaluating in real time. Here's Leoniak here as we get set number 2 underway. Swing now by Wirch over the block, dug up there by Ikenaga. Middle set, Sky Williams. Good diving save, Shesso. And that's another hammer courtesy Taylor Wolf.
So interestingly enough, the lineup remains the same, minus Bird, and in is Kate Lang, the freshman out of Texas, doing the setting opportunities. Or duties, shall I say.
Lang goes middle to Sky Williams. High ball bump set, Wolf, the roll shot, is able to trick that block, almost slip it. That was Williams up next to Leoniak, and the body language right now very much favoring Marquette. You're seeing a lot of looseness, a lot of smiling. Hawaii seems to be pressing and has looks of concern on its side.
A little bit of doubt in their minds, I think, right now.
Here's Leoniak, roll shot. Another fantastic up. This Marquette team is playing some defense. That was Wirch that kept it alive. Lang middle to Williams, and that middle connection just has not quite been there so far for Hawaii. Great job there by Williams to keep it alive. Here's Wagner from the back row into the twine. And how about a 3-0 run to start set 2 for Marquette? And Hawaii already in a bit of a danger zone.
They really are, and you can see them looking around at one another, not really sure of why. The biggest thing is trying to find a side out, number 1. and moving along, going to the next play.
Van Sickle, that one dug up over the net, but out. So when in doubt, go to Brooke. The super duper senior with a beautiful approach that time.
And she's already got 2 service aces on the evening, so this is actually a good rotation behind her in the backcourt.
That 3-0 lead for Marquette, the largest lead for any team so far in this match. Here's Wirch down the line. The dig there by Lang. So Van Sickle bumps it to the front row. Wagner had a decent over-the-shoulder look at it, but she pumps it long.
Yeah, that's a tough one from the backcourt. And Brooks telling her, just snap your wrist, come on. You know, and that's what you want. You want your teammates making you better at what you're doing out there.
So 4 serving 1. Lang backside. Here's Leoniak against a double block. Tried to drive it through. Wanted a touch. No such call. And it is a point for Marquette. And Robin Amo is going to signal for a timeout. Even with the mask on, the expression says it all. Right now, Hawaii trailing 5-1 in the second. They are hitting negative 222 compared to 400 for the Golden Eagles. Here's Leoniak. The block was late, but she still wasn't able to put it down. Good dig there by Strawback. How about the diving save, Kate Lang? Wagner, hard angle, gets the point.
Wagner bettering that ball. Not a great set, but what's some great defense by Kate Lang, spreading it out, popping that ball up, staying low, but very playable ball. And again, Riley Wagner doing a nice job.
So here's the freshman out of Moanalua, Taylor Ikenaga. And that one will not be returned. That was an absolute crush off of the palm of Savannah Rennie.
I'll tell you, Rennie is just so explosive. She's so fun to watch from the outside or from the middle, and especially her blocking schemes. She works so hard in the middle.
So 6 serving 2. Wolf with the serve. And that one tight to the pin. Leoniak has to just try to soft touch it over, but it's blocked back. Van Sickle from the back row plugs it through. How did she do that?
I don't think she knows how she did it either, because her facial expression after that hit was, what happened? How did that happen? Great set.
Yeah, that was well done there. 3 serving 6, Hawaii with some work to do here early. Slide, that goes to Rennie, dug up by Leoniak, joust at the net, and it'll be played off the twine by Lang. Here's Wagner, a little extra.
And Wagner,
chili pepper water on that one.
Yeah, definitely some extra. And, you know, you can see her kind of trying to fire up her team, put them on her shoulders and carry them along. She is not really a super vocal type of player on the court. She leads by example.
4 serving 6, Hawaii trying to creep back in here. And let's set a little off time. So chance for the Bows. Wagner winds up, uncoils, and uncorks one down the line. That one placed perfectly. Hawaii within a point.
And Ikenaga doing a nice job, just a simple straight up and down bump set. The little things that become big things.
Van Sickle and Wagner both going career last night. You see the 4 kills in this one, but the sophomore from Dublin, Ohio had a career high 12 kills to go along with 10 digs last night against Fairfield, and that was some high cheddar from Ellie Kuntz.
Ikenaga just escaped that one. She got out of the way, but just barely. Took it on the shoulder. Chicken wing did.
Yeah, Ikenaga, that was just more out of self-preservation than anything else. Here's Lang, goes back row, Leoniak. Couldn't quite get all of it that time. High bump set, and free ball coming here for Hawaii. Lang, tying away to Wagner, down the line and wide. No touch, and that's a point for Marquette, and they've created a little bit of breathing room once again, up 3.
And Wagner doing some really good things, but at other times, just unforced errors. Sitting at negative 125 right now.
Here's Hope Wirch. And Hawaii way out of system. Van Sickle's going to have to just bump it over the net. Advantage, Golden Eagles, middle set, Rennie. Great up there by Leoniak. Here's Wagner adjusting the approach. Back row works, blocked and roofed. Amber Igidi turning it back.
Some really nice defense by Leo in the backcourt. And then Amber Igidi just staying strong at the net.
Second block for Amber. Served by Wagner. Fielded by Vandenberg, tight to the net. Good set to the outside, and Vandenberg punishes it. Second on the team during the spring with 2.43 kills per set. We'll rewind all the way back to 2019. She was a Big East all-freshman team selection.
Yeah, in high school, she was the player of the year 3 years in a row. So really has got some nice accolades behind her.
Yeah, you look back on that 2019 season for Marquette, and we alluded to it in the pregame. They jumped out the gate. In fact, they were ranked as high as 7th nationally. They made it to the NCAA tournament. They lost to Purdue in the second round, but that was a team that featured a player that we got familiar with when Marquette played against Hawaii back in 2017, Allie Barber, who was that year the Big East Player of the Year.
Yes, Allie Barber really helped put their program on the map. Numerous times an All-American.
Vandenberg, meanwhile, doing her thing. She's got the hot hand. She and Taylor Wolf each with a team-high 5 kills.
And Vandenberg is not just a volleyball player. She played basketball. She played softball. She ran track. She was a high jumper, multi-talented athlete.
Yeah, she was the 2017-2018 Wisconsin Sports Girls Athlete of the Year.
Athletic family as well. Her brother played football. Just a good athletic family.
Well, you're trailing by 3 here in the second. Lang, back row, Wagner, roll shot, drops it down.
Now that's a smart play. You got everybody back holding on defense. Usually coming out of the backcourt, people swing away. You see the court very well. But she had 3 blockers on her and just dropped one in there.
So here is Kate Lang. She has assumed the setting responsibilities here in set 2, Lisa. Comes up with the save there on the Taylor Wolf swing. Back bump set, Van Sickle. Oh, she is locked in right now. Her 8th kill, hitting close to 500.
She really is. And the thing about, let's go back to Kate Lang, is that Robin Amo had said, I can play either one of these, 5-1, which means one setter on the court. I can go to a 6-2, but both of these players bring different things. I think right now she's just trying to check out what they are.
Van Sickle denying access along that pin. And Hawaii has worked its way back to a tie. We're not at a 10 here. A 3-point run here by the Wahine.
Van Sickle has caught on fire.
They go once again, though, to Vandenberg, challenging Van Sickle with Williams roaming from the middle, and Vandenberg gets it down.
Williams might have been a little bit late getting outside. Here on the replay, you can see it. Her arm's not completely over the net when Vandenberg attacked.
So here is Carly Strawback with the serve. Lang goes backside. Van Sickle just one blocker against her. But the save there by Claire Mosier. But the second touch off the mark, and Hope Wirch unable to do anything with it. So we're tied at 11. Pretty good fight being exhibited by Hawaii, being down by 3 points a multitude of times here in this second frame.
Yes, this is showing the character, and they're rising up to it. They're taking the challenge and working together well as a team.
In fact, down by as many as 4 when they trailed 5-1. Outside set, Leoniak, cross court. Was there a touch? No touch. Leo wanted one, but the officials disagree. Got a pretty good swing on it. But an out ball and a point for Marquette. And Katie Shesso, the libero, will serve.
As soon as they wipe up the floor.
And some moments being taken there to wipe up some perspiration.
Hawaii currently in this set hitting at 083 offensively.
Lang goes outside, it's Wagner, and she is blanketed. I mean, that was a demonstrative stuff there. Savannah Rennie in on the action.
Yeah, and if you watch in slow motion here, I think she got almost all of that. Of course, the block being set out there by her teammate, Taylor Wolf.
Overpass, Rennie knows what to do with it. Thank you very much. And Marquette up 14-11, and we're going to have a substitution here as Tiffany Westerberg will come in for Martina Leoniak.
And Leoniak, in 19 attempts, has 4 kills so far. Coach Robin Amo just really looking for a change-up in the lineup.
3-point run here for Marquette. Hawaii trying to get out of the rotation, and Brooke Van Sickle delivers again. That is now 9 kills. That is a match high. She has just been nailed.
And give credit to Kate Lang. You know, she recognizes that. She's like, she's hot. I'm going to keep feeding her. She's on fire. Why not just keep fueling it?
Zikinaga with the serve down the line. Pass tight to the net. It's worked on the outside. Tried the goal line. No touch up front. Missed it wide. Point for Hawaii. And let this sort of ebb and flow second set continue.
Well, let's see if they go back to Wirtz on this serve. Zikinaga, I believe, being told to serve down the line.
Right side, that's Wolf. And she's howling again. 6 kills.
She really is. You got to give credit to Claire Mosier, though, on that set. The redshirt junior, just sweet set to Taylor. Marquette running a 6-2. Taylor being the 6th rotation player, stays in all 6 rotations.
There's Westerberg. Oh, that set a little low. Couldn't do much with it. Advantage Marquette. Oh, but they'll send a free ball over. Didn't quite take advantage. Middle set, Igidi laying the smackdown.
And she has been waiting and waiting for that set. That's only her 5th set in this second set in the whole match so far. But great connection in the middle with Lang.
I mean, that was violent.
That's a good description.
14 serving 15. Slide, and there is Savannah Rennie. So you hear that phrase, right? Cream rises to the top, and we are now starting to see the more decorated players for Marquette starting to get in rhythm, look very comfortable, and do their thing. Same on the side of Hawaii when you're looking at the likes of Brooke Van Sickle and Amber Igidi.
Definitely the same.
Kate Lang had to run that slide to Igidi, had to traverse a long way with that set. The dink shot by Rennie is sniffed out. Here's Igidi in the middle, the paintbrush. Call Sherwin Williams. She gets it down.
Or the Louis Vuitton. You know, you got the paintbrush or the handbag. Which one do you prefer?
Use whatever analogy you want, it's a point.
Hey, you know, she annihilated the ball before. There was an extreme difference. We went from explosive, you know, wow, to it's still a kill.
So Hawaii within 1, and looks like we're going to have a tight one down the stretch potentially again. The dink, great effort by Leoniak, could not conjure the save. Well placed there by Vandenberg.
Leoniak read that well, but just couldn't get underneath it.
So here is Rennie to serve. As a highly touted recruit out of Torrey Pines in the San Diego area. As Leoniak finds that deep corner. He's been trying to find the range, and that one calibrated a little more correctly.
And Leoniak with her 5th kill on the evening. She's seen the most sets out of anybody so far, 20 attempts. Really trying to get her involved in the offense.
Here's Hana Wahine. Marquette out of system. High ball set goes to Vandenberg. Blocked and roofed. Sky Williams saying, ah, ole.
And she's also saying, finally. She's, you know, and when she gets in her rhythm, it can be very dangerous. All she needs is one to get her started. And give credit to Kate Lang. She set up the block. They call it post blocking. She sets it up.
And we're going to have a rotation error or violation on the side of Hawaii. And so an automatic point for Marquette. And just when Hawaii had tied this second frame for the third time, they gift one to the Golden Eagles. And we have seen just ill-timed miscues by Hawaii so far in this match. How about that serve? Leoniak two-hands it over the net. Vandenberg, the touch. Good effort there by Rio. Bump set goes to Van Sickle. Got a touch? Was there a touch? No touch. It goes long.
And Van Sickle has been just the go-to gal. She immediately knew that she got under that.
And Robin Amo is going to challenge this. Now, from our vantage point, you could almost hear, or it seemed like possibly there was the sound of a touch. That said, Brooke Van Sickle didn't put up that much of a protest after the out call. So your guess is as good as mine. Robin Amo maybe just wanting to freeze things here for a moment. She's going to challenge that one.
I think definitely. You called it. My guess is as good as your guess. And I think she's using this to her advantage to slow things down. Notice in the timeout she's talking to Kate Lang specifically and to Sky Williams. But this gives her an opportunity to slow the game down. And Brooke really felt, she turned around and said, hey, my fault. Sorry, guys. You know, there wasn't, but hey, maybe there was.
And with no fans in here, the ambiance and the sort of natural sound and surrounding sound effects that can kind of play tricks on you a little bit. So again, from where we were, at least speaking for myself, I thought I had heard a touch, but then you look at the replay and it's not so obvious. In fact, it doesn't look like there might be enough there to reverse the call.
Okay. And I don't think they're going to. But stranger things have happened.
That's right. Dan Hironaka with the verdict, and it will remain a Marquette point.
And Hawaii appreciates the opportunity to have that challenge, because in the earlier games, they're not getting challenges. In this tournament, it's only the feature game that is actually getting a challenge.
The televised games specifically. 19 serving 17. And a gift right back to Hawaii. And Robin Amo, maybe you could take credit because of the challenge. I don't know.
Is she brilliant? Hey, if they're going to give them to you, why not take them?
Oh, you're never going to decline them, right?
Right. Use them up. That's what they're put in place for.
Bit of a pressure situation here for the Frosh, Kate Lang. High ball set outside, it's Wolf. Good touch by that block. Ikenaga has to bump set. Van Sickle winds up, uncoils off the block. And Marquette keeps it alive. Wolf, the dink, misses the floor. And we're tied at 19.
And she had the right idea. It was wide open, about as open as it can be, but just out. Second
hitting error for Taylor Wolf, and you can describe both of them as unforced errors, and certainly uncharacteristic by her incredible standards. Here she is, a much more traditional swing that time. Good layout save. Ikenaga chase down Wagner. Free chance here for the Golden Eagles. They go right side. Vandenberg blocked back. Good cover there by Wirch. Wolf set a little low. Couldn't put everything on it. The save by Van Sickle. And we play on. Middle set. That's Carson Murray finishing the job.
Carson Murray has been so quiet that that's her first kill on the evening so far for the freshman.
From Lee's Summit, Missouri, stands at 6'4", was the fourth best player in the state of Missouri according to Prep Dig. Was actually 88th nationally on Prep Volleyball's top 100 list of senior aces.
And there you saw last night, she had 8 kills. She had a really good night.
Hawaii out of system. Ikenaga has to chase down the second touch. Westerberg couldn't keep it inside the pin. And again, Hawaii at a most inopportune time, getting a little messy.
And it all boils back down to that first contact.
That's a good pass there by Brooke. Middle set Williams. And she lets out a roar.
Sky Williams, her arm has gotten quicker and quicker through the years. She came in a completely different player than she is now.
A breakout season in 2019 where she was a Big West Conference first team selection. Middle set, that's Murray. Good save. Here's Westerberg, plugs it through the block. That is a big block on the other side of the net. When you match up Hope Wirch next to Carson Murray, and Westerberg just went right into it.
She did. She challenged them big time. And, you know, Westerberg did not see a ton of playing time in 2019, but they had her pegged as a middle and right side, and now she is predominantly right side or left.
And a big-time point for Hawaii. Brooke Van Sickle from the service line again. That's 3 straight points for the Rainbow Wahine. And a timeout taken by Marquette. It's to the 3rd service ace of this match for Brooke Van Sickle. 22 serving 21. Hawaii trailing 1-0. They would love to even things up. But Taylor Wolf has other ideas.
And again, Claire Mosier going to Taylor on that back side. Who else is she going to go to but Taylor Wolf?
Wolf from Waconia, Minnesota. Again, spent 3 seasons at Green Bay, was a 2-time Horizon League Player of the Year before matriculating to Marquette. And we're going to have a double contact mishit called against Kate Lang. She was awfully close to that net. It was a difficult set that she was attempting, but another miscue that time gives Marquette the lead. And here is the serve by Shesso. Good pass there, Wagner. Slide goes to Westerberg, tried to push it through the block. Marquette will send a free ball over. In fact, they had to scramble to do so. Hawaii on the attack, middle set Williams. Off the block and down. And we're tied at 23. Are you having fun yet? Hawaii and Marquette playing down to the wire here in the first 2 frames.
I know Sky Williams is having fun. When she goes in, she's so hungry. She just wants the ball. And her connection with Kate Lang seems to be really good, very smooth.
Right side, it's Wolf. And that one too hot to handle for Brooke Van Sickle. And aloha ball for set 2 for Marquette.
And this is truly where Hawaii has to just say next ball, next play.
We're going to have another timeout signaled by Robin Amo. Taylor Wolf already with 8 kills, hitting .353. How about 13 assists in her setter role? She has an ace.
As a whole to grind it out here in the 2nd set. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Both these teams with some tall aspirations here this year. Marquette preseason picked to finish 2nd in the Big East behind Creighton. They did get 3 first-place votes, however. Hawaii preseason picked to win the Big West Conference, and both these teams in that others receiving votes category right now in the national rankings.
And trust me when I say both of these teams looking to go to the NCAA playoffs as well. And truly that's the goal, and that's why you host these preseason tournaments, to look across the net outside of your conference.
So we went to extra points in the first. Marquette able to win that one after having their backs against the wall. Hawaii was serving for set point in the first. They win 26-24 due to Golden Eagles. And with Hawaii's backs against the wall, an out serve knots it up, and we're going to be going to extra volleyball here in the second as well.
And was that a great timeout or what? You know, put a little extra pressure on them with the timeout. I think so.
We're going to have a substitution here as Leoniak enters back into the match. No timeouts left for Hawaii. Marquette still with 1. And a big serve here for the freshman Martina Leoniak, 6'3" from Warsaw, Poland. Also recruited by Grand Canyon, BYU, Pittsburgh, just to name a few of the other programs that showed some interest in her. Good serve, knuckle set, and off the block and out goes Jenna Reedsma. So you had a freshman behind the service line for Hawaii in a pressure situation. How about a freshman on the swing for Marquette in what looked like a broken play? That turned out to be a magnificent knuckle set, one-handed style to get Marquette the point.
Crazy. Taylor Wolf, how do you better that ball? Amazing set, and the freshman coming up big time.
And it is Hope Wirch serving for set 2. Wagner with the first touch, gets the bump set, goes off the block, played off of the touch by Rennie. And we're going to have a free chance here for Hawaii. Ikenaga straight up in the air for Van Sickle. And that was a laser.
Ikenaga doing, again, a phenomenal job, knowing exactly who was in middle back, Brooke Van Sickle, and just putting that ball right in her zone.
So Van Sickle, first player on the floor to get to double figures in kills. She has 10, hitting .412. Wagner now to serve. We're tied at 25 in set 2. That's Kuntz, dug up over the net by Leoniak. Outside the other way, it's Vandenberg. And she gets it down. I mean, so many weapons for this Golden Eagles offense.
They really do. And all of them are, you know, right now as a team, they're hitting at 256.
250 overall for the match. Rennie, another aloha ball opportunity for Marquette. From the back row, it's Leoniak. Got a good swing on it, but a great up by Wirch. The touch by Vandenberg, and Hawaii all up in that net.
That's just unfortunate. Emre trying to get out there.
So the violation ends set 2 in a fairly anticlimactic fashion. And well, this player right here, Brooke Van Sickle, has been doing all of the big things for Hawaii. 10 kills, hitting .412, 3 service aces. She has 3 digs and a block, but she's come up big whenever they've needed her to do so the most.
And that's the super duper senior that we talked about. You know, she's the floor captain, and she really has tried to perform her best.
So a must-win third set here for Hawaii, trailing 2-0, and a thunderous start for Marquette as Savannah Rennie just lays the wood on that set.
And Rennie plays in the middle, but in one rotation she does hit from that left front. It'd be a scary thought if she was on the outside.
Brother Luke was a pitcher for the Orioles and Mets in professional baseball, and we're going to have a interference call against Rennie reaching over the net, and so it's going to be a point for Hawaii. You see incredulous reactions from the Marquette players as well as head coach Ryan Tice.
Yes.
Who's giving Dan Hironaka the business, asking if he can challenge that, and Hironaka saying yes you can, and so Ryan Tice says, well, all right, here's the laminated green card.
And Ryan Tice, in his 8th season, kind of an interesting coach, because he brought over Megan Keck, his assistant coach. She was with him at Ohio State for 6 years and was a setter during her time at Auburn, but really interesting how he brought his staff over with him. So they've been coaching together for quite some time.
Yeah, taking advantage of this trip to the islands, brought all 3 of his sons over with he and his wife Jenny. I'm not sure if there was any contact there with the ball. So the call was an interference that Hawaii was playing the ball on their side and had basically the right of way, so to speak. And so if Wirch goes over and interferes with that set by Kate Lang, then that is a violation.
And you can see
awfully close.
You know, there is a little acting that goes along in the sport of volleyball. You see them waving their hands, no touch, you know, some sign language, if you will. And she immediately comes down and waves her hands, no touch. She heard the whistle.
And they're going to replay the point. So deemed inconclusive.
I think it's on the trust factor.
So unable to maintain the call, decides that because of that, it is a no touch, and so they replay the point.
That's right, no point will be awarded.
Here's Westerberg, the dink. Kuntz going cross court. Good dig there by Lang. Wagner from the back row. Took a little something off. It's a save by Wolf. Here's Kuntz again. Good rally here. And Sickle over the shoulder. One hand layout save Shesso. Wirtz pulling the string and finding the floor. And so after all of that, it winds up a Marquette point.
And again, another well-executed rally by both sides. Marquette just getting a little bit more defensive, coming up big.
Taylor Wolf with the serve, and it's an ace. And Marquette opening things up the way they opened things up in set 2.
Yeah, they're jumping out, putting a little bit of pressure. Got a little lucky. You know, that let serve is a tough one. When it hits the top of the tape, it definitely changes things up. You got a 3-person receive here. It creates some confusion.
There's Van Sickle, a touch shot. Good anticipation there by Kuntz. Wirtz goes off the block. Lang high and away to Westerberg, blocked, and Ruth.
And Westerberg doing a nice job on the outside there. The set dying just a little bit, but a huge block again, that big block.
And Robin Amo, seeing her team trail 4-0, signals for a timeout. Marquette trying to impose its will here to start set number 3. Run to start set number 3 here for Marquette.
A little bit of a deja vu of the last set when Robin Amo had to call a timeout at 5-1. They're chasing now. They're creating a bigger gap.
They're doing it with Taylor Wolf at the service line. And another ace for Wolf. That is her 3rd of the match. Largest lead for any team here tonight. A 5-spot to start this 3rd set for the Golden Eagles.
And you know, when Robin Amo and staff are looking at this as the big picture, they really are trying to figure out the chemistry of this team. It is still so early and so young, and there's so much depth on this team. Trying to let them work it out and figure it out.
Well, there's a little bit of familiarity here. The only time these two teams met previously was to start the season in 2017. That was Robin Amo's debut match as head coach for the Hawaii program. And Marquette would win in 5 as Westerberg hits it into the twine. Allie Barber, the aforementioned star for the Golden Eagles, had 22 kills in that one for Marquette. And very similarly, it was Robin Amo sort of unveiling her culture with the program and feeling it out. And after a season off for this Rainbow Wahine squad, you can see there is still some work to be done. And I think when you go up against a program like Marquette that has so much talent and that has such a tradition of excellence here under Ryan Tice, that gets exposed.
Very much so, and you got to remember they're a veteran squad. They got 6 returning players. They've got 2 graduate students that have played 5 and 6 years. That's huge in women's volleyball. In any volleyball.
And Sickle finally getting Hawaii on the board. And then the block is up. Sky Williams next to Wagner. And that's 2 straight points for the Lady Vols. And yet Hawaii has been competitive here tonight. Excuse me, Lisa, they have also made a swap at setter. They have made some substitutions earlier, certainly in this match, than what we saw last night against Fairfield. Williams trying to take advantage of the overpass, can't put it down. Wirtz goes above the block, no touch, sends it long, and that's a point for Hawaii.
And Hawaii getting a little bit more steam engine rolling going here.
I mean, if not for a few ill-timed errors This could very conceivably be a Hawaii 2-0 lead. I mean, that's how tight this match has been from a competitive standpoint. But right now, some breathing room early on in set 3. Savannah Rennie getting another one down.
And this really is a set where Hawaii has to produce. I mean, they're down 2-0. They cannot be playing chase at this point in the match.
Overpass by Wagner. Rennie says thank you very much. 8-3 Marquette here. Off and running in the third. Only one timeout left for Robin Amo. And we're going to have our first look at another freshman on the roster for Hawaii, Mia Johnson. 5'11" outside hitter from League City, Texas, out of Clear Falls High School. An AVCA and Under Armour Phenom List selection at Clear Falls. She comes into the match in place of Riley Wagner. Back row set, it's Van Sickle. The touch shot, layout save Shesso. Backside, it's Kuntz. And that one goes off the tape and down for another Marquette point. And right now, Robin Amo and company desperately searching for an answer. Robin Amo asking something of Dan Hironaka.
Asking how many timeouts she's taken. She's taken one.
Just confirming what is on the scoreboard above us, saying that she does have one timeout remaining. Here is Johnson. Dug up. Outside set goes to Vandenberg, and she bounces it off of the Terraflex. And it is all rolling right now for Marquette.
It really is, and Hawaii really struggling. Just you can see it in their body language, the communication, the uncertainty. Mia Johnson coming in, according to Coach Robin Amo. She says she's got a heavy, heavy arm. She hits really a hard ball.
Slide goes to Westerberg. Tried to knuckle it through the block. It's scrambling on the side of Marquette. Middle set, it's Williams. And that is one-on-one solo stuff by Savannah Rennie. 5 straight points for Marquette, and this one's slipping away in a hurry. It is 11-3, continues to be, as this one grows, the largest lead of the match for either side. And that one misses wide.
And really Marquette doing a great job going after Mia Johnson every ball. When she came in, they served her every ball in that left front position.
So into the match comes Amber Igidi. Back behind the line to serve is Taylor Ikenaga. Outside, Vandenberg through the block and down. And you start to think, right? Every once in a while, we experience one of these Saturdays where you could spell Saturday starting with SAD, because you had the football team on the road today at the Rose Bowl, and that one didn't go well against UCLA to start their season. 44-10 final there. You had the Honolulu Little Leagues guys losing to Michigan in the championship of the Hank Aaron bracket over there in Williamsport. And don't even get me started on the modified double elimination rules, where a team that they beats them for the first time, and they're the ones that are bounced. But anyway, you now have, as Braylon Akana comes into the match, you have the Rainbow Wahine down 0-2. And scrambling to try to stay involved here. Milana Bird back on the floor at setter, by the way, Lisa.
Yeah. It was time to change things up just a little bit. Hawaii struggling. Something had to be changed because they were not changing it. They were getting further and further behind in this match. But yes, a sad day is what you're referring to.
Yes.
We had hope coming in. We still have hope.
It's not over till it's over.
Right. But you're
the
right.
saying goes.
It was a big day for Hawaii sports.
But that's what sort of weighs on you as a Hawaii fan in these situations. As another ace authored by Marquette, and that one, the huddle around her. And because there is no crowd, you hear a little bit more of some of the communication along the benches, and she was not mincing words at all with her players. This is a character check very early on in the season, mind you, but a character check nonetheless after two very competitive opening sets where Hawaii really missed out on some opportunities to go up in this match. And we're going to have a back row attacker called against the setter, Milana Bird, going up above the tape there and hitting the ball over as a back row player. But despite those opportunities and then playing competitively in the first two sets, they now find themselves drifting here in the third, and Robin Amo's trying to tell them, you got to have more pride than that, even in a situation like this.
Absolutely. You've got to start showing some fight. You don't lie down, and that's what she's saying. She's, you know, we didn't hear exactly what she said, but you could hear her with the players around her. And you know, she's so passionate about this game. She wants them. She has so much aloha for it, and for the girls. You've worked so hard. Get out there and fight.
That's Taylor Wolf. I mean, she's been putting up a fight all night long. That is her 9th kill. She has 21 assists, 12 digs, a handful of blocks. Ear-to-ear smile's been ever present.
And you know, that's how she was last night too. She plays with this confidence, and she's having fun the whole time she's out there, but she definitely exuberates confidence.
It's definitely not too early to suggest that she'll be on the radar in that competition for Big East Conference Player of the Year.
No, absolutely, she will. And you know, transferring in, I mean, what a great asset to Marquette for her senior year as a graduate student.
There's Kyra Hanawahine. 7 serving 16 here in the third. And Hawaii make things at least a little more interesting. And unable to conjure a save there on the Hope Wirch kill from off the net.
Just breaking things up. Marquette's been banging away, and they bang, 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 and then they tip.
And that's another sign of a good team, is it not? When you have a team that is reeling, you've won a couple of very closely contested sets, to be able to sort of step on the neck, so to speak, of the opposition. That's a sign of a team when they can finish their business in the way that Marquette is en route to possibly doing here.
And they're so disciplined, they know their roles. That's what I think is happening as well on the other side of the court. They're veteran players. They've played together a long time. Hawaii's seen a lot of different players going in and out like a revolving door, and it's hard to get used to your role in the systems.
Big line with the serve. Hawaii trailing by 9. Wirch, and she was able to put all of the mustard on that one. And you have Marquette in this set hitting over 500. Hawaii, meanwhile, is flat-lining it in the third.
Big difference offensively.
Vandenberg leading Marquette with 11 kills, hitting .421. And some of these numbers, pretty incredible. Van Sickle blocked back. Good coverage there by Mia Johnson. Van Sickle a second time. And the solo block attempt, oftentimes not enough to stop Brooke Van Sickle. Continues her tear.
Well, you know what she's going to do? She's going to put it all out there. She is not going to walk away from this. She's a fierce competitor. I think it runs in the blood just a little bit.
That's a safe bet. 13 kills now for Brooke. And another ace. How about her 4th of the evening?
Her volleyball IQ, I don't know if she was, I don't think she was necessarily born with it, but she's definitely worked hard her years.
And 4 of a kind for Brooke Van Sickle. And that one hit into the net by Rietsma.
And Rietsma, again, just a freshman coming in and contributing late in the match, getting some time.
Hawaii will take on Texas A&M tomorrow evening. A little earlier, the start time at 5. We'll be going on the air at 4:30. Here's Johnson on the outside, is able to tool the block. And the Hawaii bench trying to provide some added energy here, see if they can generate some momentum. Hawaii is within a half dozen. They have scored 4 straight, a timeout taken by Marquette. So the Rainbow Wahine right now, objective number 1 is just try to make this thing interesting, if at all possible.
Yes, and take some pride in what you're doing out there. The momentum has definitely shifted to the Wahine side. And you can see the players on the court, that little talk earlier really did get them going. They came out of that huddle and they were a little bit more focused on what was ahead of them and across the net from them.
So when you look at what Hawaii has exhibited here this weekend so far in these first 2 matches, where you have both setters who were competing in the run-up to this opening weekend, Milana Bird and Kate Lang, getting legitimate time here, particularly in this match. What do you see at that position? What do you see as far as the possibilities of where Robin can go with this collection?
Well, that's a great question. And, you know, only Robin can answer that. I can give you my perspective on it, which would be I really liked when Milana Bird was in. She seemed to be running a nice, smooth offense. Not that Kate's not. It's just that it seemed smoother. They seemed more connected for some reason. Now, Kate's doing a nice job moving things around. She has not had the luxury of the passing that Milana Bird got earlier last night. The changeup came a little early, in my personal opinion, tonight, trying to get more players in, which is what she needs to do. That's what you do preseason tournaments for, to see each player and what they bring to the table. I think potentially she could do a 6-2 like she did with Norini Sia and Bailey Choi. I thought that was very effective.
So Brooke Van Sickle will serve. We'll take a look at Kate Lang continuing out there. Kate Lang, already a member of the Keller High School Hall of Fame, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty young to get inducted into your Hall of Fame, seeing how she's a freshman.
Good set that time, and Rennie knows how to finish the deal. Rennie now with 10 kills, and that breaks the 4-point run for Hawaii, so a good timeout there by Ryan Tice. Ryan Tice, interestingly enough, he told us they don't do team captains like you see traditionally with other programs. He says he allows it to occur a little more organically, as Rennie, the solo stuff on Sky Williams. And Marquette feeling it now. They get to the 20 mark. They're up 8.
And speaking about the captains, when they came over to shake hands, flip the coin with Sky Williams, 4 seniors came over. So back to the captain.
Here's Williams. Go back and forth above the tape. Rennie sets it high, but a little too close to the net for Vandenberg to do anything with it. And Williams and Westerberg able to put it down. And
it looks like there's going to be a challenge. Coach Tice got up immediately and was saying, somebody net, but Hannah Vandenberg just told him, no, I net, it was my back. So he put the green card down immediately.
You gotta love the honest feedback, right?
Oh, yeah.
Off of Igidi, and she quickly resets for that middle set, but couldn't put it down. And then Kuntz is blocked in roof. Amber Igidi. Instant defense whenever she enters the match.
She's like a barricade up there. You're not gonna get by me. So she's a little late getting out there, and somehow she still manages to block that ball.
14 serving 20. Does Hawaii have another run in the tank? Oh, that's not going to help as Rennie strikes again.
It's been Rennie from basically everywhere. Right front, middle front, left front.
And now behind the service line. Johnson. Mia Johnson with 2 blocks here, or 2 kills, I should say, in her Rainbow Wahine debut.
And really no fear. I mean, they went right after her serving, and she's just holding her own out there, swinging away, blasting away. You gotta love that.
Yeah, standing at 5'11", but Very formidable there on the outside pin, and Milana Bird with the service ace. Hawaii within a handful.
Dialing it up. You gotta like the energy that Hawaii is regenerating. It was definitely a little low there earlier.
6 service aces for Hawaii as a team. Of course, 4 of those belong to Brooke Van Sickle. And a free chance here for Hawaii. Bird goes cross court. Johnson off the block and down. And Hawaii within 4.
Johnson putting some power on that ball.
A 5-1 run for the Rainbow Wahine. Oh, that may have been an out ball played in the back row by Lurch. The dink by Vandenberg. Pancake save Bird. Van Sickle slaps it across. Vandenberg again the dink. Again the layout save Bird. Johnson off the bump set. Chance here for Marquette. One hand set. The lefty swing by Kuntz is dug up by Van Sickle. Amber Igidi in the middle. And Hawaii somehow keeps that sequence alive thanks to 2 fantastic Milana Bird saves. And they're within 3.
And there's been some amazing defense. Check this out. Laying it out here. Milana Bird. And then Akana getting a piece of that. Braylon Akana doing a nice job. And Igidi just all out in the middle.
Braylon Akana, another one getting some time in there. Another player who really put in some work in that canceled season duration. And she has come back, according to Robin Amo, another upgraded player.
And you know, she was a middle blocker in high school up at Kamehameha Schools, and she's transitioned over to the right side.
So there's a lot of conversation taking place, really at multiple points on the floor. You have the floor captain for Marquette talking with Dixon Chun. It is Hope Lurch having a discussion briefly with him, and now you also have Ryan Tice talking with Dan Hironaka, and I think the discussion was pertaining to whether or not to challenge the pancake save by Milana Bird. Now, when she did conjure that save up, the line judge down the line did signal that it hit the floor.
But I believe that that is not his call. And so that's probably where the question's coming in and why they're gonna do the challenge. And most likely, Tice saw it because he's standing the entire match right there. So here on the replay, it looks like it came up. It looks like she got it. I'm not positive.
Tough to tell. The spatula trying to slide. You had the line judge who made the gesture that it was an in ball, thinking that it did touch the ground, but like you said, it was never called by the R1 Dixon Chun. And there, that's a tough call. And now Dan Hironaka. All eyes on you, Dan.
Yep, your call, Dan. We'll go with what you decide.
These are the moments where we feel a lot of relief that we are not the ones that bear that responsibility.
Very grateful.
Of having to review some of these important and pivotal moments. It's not going to be overturned, and Ryan Tice is going to be very unhappy about it.
He just can't believe it.
Well, you don't have to read lips to be able to tell that Ryan Tice is not a happy camper after that non-reversal. How about the dig there, Ikenaka? Van Sickle touched it over, but a good save there. On the outside, Vandenberg, the dink, and she just kept going to that soft touch shot, almost daring Milana Bird to pull another pancake save off.
She really is. It's like a deja vu. She's been told to, when she tips over, she takes Milana Bird out of the play, and then you have the secondary setter, and that's what they're trying to establish.
Almost like they were trying to prove a point. Johnson had to adjust on that first touch. Here's Akana. And She caught it fat, sends it long, and Marquette back up 5, 23-18.
And that's a tough one. Braylon Akana, you know, on the sideline for 2 matches and then comes in a little bit cold. Then you got a challenger, you know, waiting around.
And that's an out serve. Well, however this ends here after this 3rd set, if we play on or if Marquette packs it up, I think what you can say is when Hawaii was facing a moment where everything was coming off of the rails, Robin Amo challenged them, and they did respond. And they have competed here in this 3rd set. As Vandenberg goes off the block. Berg, middle, Taijiri. And they continue to compete back within 3.
And that's what you want to see. You know, unfortunately, sometimes you got to take your players and give it to them. But again, early in the season, and eventually these guys are they're gonna have to learn how to compete on their own.
6-2 run for Hawaii. Middle set, and guess who? Taylor Wolf.
With the 2 in the middle. An exclamation mark, her 10th kill. Hitting at 421.
How about 10th kill for Taylor Wolf, and that gives her a triple-double in the match. 23 assists, 12 digs. Also, as you mentioned, the 421 hitting percentage. Aloha ball for the match. Marquette trying to pull off the sweep. Outside, it's Van Sickle. Dunks it down, and it's not foul just yet.
Van Sickle out in front of all attackers with 27 attempts.
Well, she had a career-high 16 kills last night. She has 13, hitting 370 here the following evening. And don't forget about those 4 aces. She has been special once again. And there's Taylor Wolf. And this one is over as Marquette pulls off the sweep against Hawaii behind a stellar performance by Taylor Wolf. A triple-double in what was a competitive match. For the first 2 sets, things started to get away from Hawaii in that 3rd frame, but Robin Amo challenged her team, and they competed, and they made that final score a lot more respectable than what it was looking like it was headed towards.
They sure did. You got to give them credit there. You know, sometimes you get in that lull and you just don't know how to pull yourself out. That's why you got a coaching staff.
Well, we're going to hear from Robin Amo here shortly, but let's check out the Bank of Hawaii players of the match. And I think this is an easy one for Marquette. I mean, they had, to be honest, several strong performers, including Savannah Rennie hitting 421 with 10 kills, Vandenberg team high 12 kills, but I mean, a triple-double is a triple-double, right? Taylor Wolf getting the nod for Marquette, and then Brooke Van Sickle, back-to-back strong performances, 14 kills, hit 393, 5 digs, and she had the 4 of a kind, the 4 aces.